That's right. I'm back. You can't get rid of me that easily. I know that our lovely cigar professors would have said some very mean things about me behind my back in my absence last week. That's a given, of course. And I know that because I would do the same about them if they took a week off. So, fair's fair. All's fair in love and war. But you're not getting rid of me that easily. Now, this week, my goodness. So we loved the Warped Cloud Hopper. I guess it's a weird name for a cigar. Warped is the brand. Cloud Hopper was the particular product line. We had that in the last pack. It was absolutely fantastic. What we have here is the Warped Maestro Del Tiempo. This is the Master of Time. And so named, apparently, because the blender was, I guess, paying homage to the role that time plays in the aging of tobacco, the fermenting of tobacco, the rolling of cigars, aging of cigars, etc. And named this one the Master of Time. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to tell you any more about it. I'm going to hand over to our Master of Cigar Acquisitions, who's the one who tracked this one down. And he's going to tell you all about it, including it's not just a Nicaraguan Puro, it's even more local and special than that. So, Professor Damo, how are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Now, Daniel is correct to be looking forward to this one. Yes. I have very high hopes. Now, sometimes my high hopes end up making me feel let down. I'm hopeful that this won't be one of those cases.
It's a fairly young cigar. Like, as far as it was only released this one was only released in 2016, so it hasn't been around for a long time. So it's really come out punching with good reviews, good scoring by reviewers, and I got this cigar in the pack because it is supposedly a little bit on the mild side of medium, and it hovers around that medium from the reviews on it. So that was why I decided that it would be a good cigar to put in this pack. Apart from the fact that Warped also had such an incredible stick, I thought we'd continue exploring further their range.
I'm on the nose. It's earthy, it's mulchy.
I've got a bit of a barnyard, maybe even a slightly newer note to it as well.
Definitely some barnyard. This on the nose, it does not say mild to medium to me, but we will find out. The proof is, of course, in the lighting. And speaking of lighting, we have someone with us today who is slowly losing light. So, Omar, how are you, mate? I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because we can all sit here and look forward to the time when the sun sets and your face goes completely blank and we can't see a damn thing. And that just really feels like something to look forward to. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Of course you don't. Where are you?
So home, just a different view.
Okay. All right. You same place but different. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You got no lights. You got nothing.
Is it that bad?
Oh no, it's not that bad yet. But I'm watching the sky slowly going dark over your shoulder, and I'm just thinking you're going to end up looking like a silhouette.
We'll work it out.
We'll figure it out. All right. What are we doing today? We cutting?
I am doing a straight cut.
Yeah,
so that's the cutter I've got to punch
this. I wouldn't bother to punch this
myself.
Yeah,
it's snug for me.
Slightly on the snug side, not much. Cigar Man Sam is enough of a prankster that I don't know whether to believe him or not.
Hey Sam, glad you could join us live. It's been so long since we've spoken.
He says hello from Beirut, Lebanon. I'm assuming by that he means Lakemba in Sydney.
Nah, he's overseas.
Is he? So he's not pulling my leg. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Cigar Man Sam, that's some commitment. Thank you for joining us.
Hopefully you got a lot of cigars there at the moment, Sam.
Oh.
And I'm sure they're much more reasonably priced there as well.
It's 11 a.m., he says.
Omar's expecting you to bring a bloody suitcase full back with you, you know?
Yeah.
I got to say, on the cold draw, the flavors were a little bit fresher than what they are on the nose. More like a fresh hay rather than that really mulchy barnyard that the aroma has. So we'll see when we light it up. What are we going to get?
Ooh.
It's a bit tight, the draw.
a fraction tight.
Yeah.
Not too bad for me, but just a fraction. The sort of thing that does happen with a long, relatively narrow gauge cigar. Cold draw is really good for Daniel. Stuart reckons he's keen. Yeah, Tim, you are late. Not good enough, mate. I expect better from you in future.
So I'm getting an almond-like nuttiness on the start of the draw that progresses to a nice spice that dies off to a coffee note. And there's a floral note on the foot smoke straight off the bat.
I'm not going to bother analyzing the flavors. I'm just going to say that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's magnificent.
Yeah. It's not bad at all.
Definitely getting that hint of coffee on the finish.
Oh, that floral note in the foot smoke's just gorgeous. Even on the exhaled smoke, just retroing a little bit of it. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh. If this is what warped are like, the Cloud Hopper was an absolute favorite amongst all of us.
Yeah.
This one's opening is just magnificent. I'm going to have to take some time and just smoke my way through the whole range, I think. This is gorgeous. What's up, Aaron? How are
you? That's nice.
Nice, he says. Come on. Oh.
There's a little bit of texture to the smoke as well. It's still a light smoke, but there's just that tiny bit of texture in there.
There's a... Oh, I had it a second ago. What was that? No, gone. Daniel, I hope you don't mean that you literally lit a brew coffee bag on fire. That I mean, look, each to their own. Look,
people worse than you could smoke.
People have smoked weirder things, you know. But I tell you what, the brew coffee is slowly picking up.
You know what? Smoking coffee might be the new way to go because it'd probably be a downside cheaper.
But yeah, if you just snorted coffee instead of snorting Coke, you'd save yourself a lot of money. What is that? Like roasted slivered almonds, but it's on something that's also sweet. It's on top of a croissant or there's a lot going on in this one flavor that I'm just chasing.
It's almost like a sweet, stretchy, chewy pastry sort of note. Not a little bit more chewy. It's very unique as far as.
I agree with what Topher said. It has a touch of that soft chewiness of an almond croissant, but in my cigar, there's still a hint of spiciness, sweet spiciness that touches upon cinnamon. Very likely to be cinnamon or a mix of canned pepper, cinnamon mix, something like that. Yeah, and that's something like this going to the pastry.
Yeah, there is something there in that vein, but it's just like it's very particular, and yet my brain won't instantly recognize it. It's chasing it.
How'd you go with the borrowing?
With the what?
The borrowing. Remember you were saying?
The borrowing.
Because you never had a brain, so you said you might have to borrow it.
Thanks.
That's okay. I'm just trying to help.
You know, if you're gonna be a smart ass, at least make sure you're smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise you're just an ass. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's why we want to get you a brain, because you don't get it.
So Tim has grabbed the Warped Cloud Hopper, which is a favourite of Tim's, and I hand delivered that to him on the weekend. Excuse me, you guys are keeping me up. So yes, enjoy that tonight, Tim.
I'm almost getting a little bit of a toastiness to that pastry bread note as well now.
Yeah, I reckon I had that toastiness early on. It was kind of that roasted slivered almonds, sort of that. It had that slight toasty, crunchy brown sort of. It's almost not a flavor; it's a texture. It's such a weird thing. Like the texture of the smoke on this cigar is so tightly bound up with the flavors. I think it's actually making it hard to pick what's going on. Like a glazed pastry with smoked almond. Something in that vein, yes.
Yeah. Most certainly, but it's just that a little cinnamon spice or something that being poured over or sprinkled over.
Yeah, there is something there. It's like the sugar is a cinnamon sugar, but just slightly bitier than a normal cinnamon sugar. There's a bit of extra. Yeah.
The best I could think of was it's a cinnamon plus like a pan added to it or something, which is sweet. It's weird, but
Now I've re-brought up Cigar Man Sam's comment here, and this is one of those moments that just really sort of pisses me off more than anything else in the Cigar Professor. I can handle a lot of things, but when someone says something nice about Omar, and I actually have to agree with them, it pisses me off more than anything else. I want to talk shit, but actually, that is coming on really, really nicely. It looks really cool. I love just this sort of dark patch you got there.
Thank you.
Well, Sam, I'll let you in on a secret. Omar's hoping that his beard will be long enough so when you get back, you can run your fingers through it. That's what I heard him saying.
I could believe it. And this is Daniel's assessment of your beard. It's like a glazed pastry with smoked almond. That's what he thinks of your beard.
Wow. Interesting that it's kind of continuing with that same theme with a bit of a cacao coffee sort of addition to it now, I think.
There is that slight coffee. It's been there all the way through for me.
I think it's just getting a little bit more stronger for me. That's all.
Yeah.
It feels that it got bite to it.
Stuart is saying he's on his way home, presumably driving the car. He says, "Entertain me, boys." All I'm going to say is you must be desperate, mate. You've never heard of a thing called the radio? Just saying, you know.
Omar's solution for entertainment when he's driving is just to light up another cigar. So
easy.
Just saying.
Easy.
Tim says, "Do you know, Topher, I only hang out with you because I was hoping I might be able to meet Omar one day."
He's the man. He's the man.
I'm pretty sure there's rules against a blow that low. Pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to kick a man in that spot, you know?
I always thought Tim has a bit of substance to him, so why not?
Josh reckons it might be just me getting a marzipan type flavor. I think there is something in that there. It just never. I asked myself, is that marzipan at one point? I went, it's just not quite. But I reckon it's hiding in there in the background.
It's in that region, definitely, because we've got the sweetness, we've got the almonds. There does seem to be I wouldn't say a chemical note, but there is that sort of, when you get that almond marzipan note, it's sort of got that real strong sweet almond bite to it that this one doesn't quite have the strength there to quite drop into the marzipan for me.
Yeah. Omar looks like a great patriarch. He just needs to be on like a desert horse in some remote region and just coming out to like parlay on behalf of his people and negotiate a truce. Otherwise, he's going to swoop down with his horses and annihilate us. Like, I don't know. It's just
we should have painted Omar's face in green glow in the dark paint, because that setting would have just been perfect for that.
Well, speaking of painting, I think Omar coloured in bits of his beard with the texture. So says Daniel. Probably a Sharpie, just because it's more permanent.
I'm going to let everybody in on the biggest secret. The beard is actually black. All of that grey that you see is all the ash that's fallen off all the cigars he smokes.
It's plausible. It's plausible. Mate, there's nothing unfortunate about a Carrillo Oscuro Elite. It's a good stick if you don't mind a bit of body, a bit of strength.
Yeah, it's a good stick.
Richard, thank you. Welcome. You're always welcome, and thank you for the share.
I retroed a little bit too much then, but it's still got that floral note on the retro.
Okay. Daniel says, Tim, I've met Omar. Be careful what you wish for. Tim says a desert horse is called a camel.
Yeah. Tim. This is getting better.
I think we can all just take a step back. I think our viewers have got this show covered tonight.
Yeah, I know. Let's just try to get some light into it, eh?
No, man, it's getting better and better as it gets darker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better.
Oh.
Well, have you just like set a romantic dinner setting there for us? I'm just waiting for the Barry White to come on.
That's how he woos his cigars every night.
It's meant to be my wife's birthday, so.
It was meant to be, but then it didn't happen, or what?
Well, it's have to be delayed because of Cigar Professor.
Wow, you are a dead man.
You definitely have to take your hat off for somebody that does that.
No, I negotiated it properly. I said she's going to get friends over. I said get them to come a bit late. Got some beautiful flowers. That's better.
I'm getting a little bit of leather coming in at the moment.
Burns a fraction wonky, which in a narrower ring gauge cigar, usually you have less of that, but got a bit of that going on. But it's definitely following a couple of veins. There's a couple of veins in the wrapper that it's definitely just chasing down that little bit faster.
Yep. It's very interesting because with this cigar in particular, I think we all started to do some guesswork, but we're actually not really talking about cigar. We are just, effing around. It's going really smooth and nice and enjoyable. And we were like just chilling kind of thing. It's one of those cigars you out on a golf day or something, and you got this damn thing up, and it's beautiful.
I feel like you'd be insulting it to have it on a golf day. I feel like it deserves a little bit more attention than that.
Yeah,
I think it does need attention, but it's an easy cigar to smoke. It's a very easy cigar to smoke.
That's true. That's true.
No, very easy cigar to smoke. Not sure if you knew this, but I do smoke a couple of cigars a day, sometimes more. So cigar makes you want to just go with the flow kind of cigar, and it's just chill and it's easy. It's nice. It's got a depth to it for sure. It's not your Connecticut, but it's got some,
Most days he smokes a couple of cigars before he starts work.
One before work. One.
The bombshell there is Omar works.
He works hard at lighting up the next cigar.
Someone actually called me today on my mobile. So I usually sit down outside. I report in, think everything is good. Then I pretend to do the bills and all kind of things and orders, and I sit outside and smoke a cigar. Someone went past like 4 times on Wollongong Road and said, "You are still sitting in the same place and the same cigar." I said, "No, that wasn't the same cigar."
Nice, slow, steady burn rate.
Excellent burn.
Super impressive.
Very slow burn, really.
Yeah.
Well, yours more so than mine. My short side is the same as yours, But where that burn is racing ahead, it's definitely racing ahead quite a lot.
I'm a little wonky, but not too bad.
Now burn is perfect almost. Just
perfect.
Yours
is, Omar.
It's going real good.
Well, I don't think there's too many people on the planet that have got as much experience at smoking cigars as Omar.
Well,
the only one I can think of is Steve Sarker, and he estimates that he's probably smoked about 400,000 cigars in his life to date. So,
oh, that's a lot of cigars. I'm a late starter, man.
You got some catching up to do, Omar.
Yeah, Richard Overton used to smoke 12 a day too. He's up there. He died at 116. Like, he smoked a hell lot of cigars.
Yeah, he's smoking like 7 to 9 a day or something, wasn't he?
He's at up to 12.
Up to 12.
Yeah.
Well, I guess when he was retired and had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
He didn't used to like get up at 3 a.m, make himself a coffee, have a cigar, and then go back to bed.
Yeah.
We know what Omar's future holds.
Okay, so Tim, you're fired.
No.
You can see yourself out, mate.
No, man.
No. There's the door.
You're gone. You're dead to me.
Yeah.
Also, Finley just said something nice about Omar, so you're dead to me too.
Nah, Finn is good, man. We haven't heard much from Finn. Where's he from?
I just lost my ash. 1 inch chunk.
I don't know where he's from, but if he wants to share, Finley, let us know where you're from. He's watching on YouTube.
What are we drinking, boys?
Well,
super simple. Yep, you go.
Tonight, I have decided to go with a black Earl Grey.
Oh, nice.
I thought that would pair a little bit better. I was expecting some floral notes in this cigar, floral notes in the tea.
Nice.
And then something to wet the whistle. I've got a raspberry shrub.
What?
It's basically raspberry juice infused with a bit of vinegar and to give it like a sour twist, and it's just in soda water. So,
just when you thought they couldn't come up with anything more ridiculous than kombucha,
Finish saying Mornington. That's a gorgeous spot.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice down there. Daniel's flexing on us again. Go on, complete the set, Daniel. Why don't you also tell us that you've still got your ash? Go on, just complete the set. Perfect burn, nice and slow, no ash drop. Go on, Daniel. You know you want to. Come on, mate. Come on, mate.
He's probably blowing a few more rings too.
Sorry?
He's probably blowing a few more rings than you too.
Oi. Tim's just drinking water. I don't want any other flavors interfering with my cloud hopper. Fair enough. I'm actually just on the straight up black tea. The 4 cents a bag, Coles, cheap ass stuff.
Yellow label.
It's my absolute go-to with any cigar.
Yeah.
Just straight up cheap supermarket black tea.
Yeah, I agree. It's the best.
I came across a new tea brand that I've never encountered before called, I think it was Storm and India.
Bugger.
When I was staying in a hotel this last week, I was down in Tasmania working Monday till Thursday.
Yeah.
How beautiful is this ash?
It's gorgeous, I know.
Yeah, perfect.
Just make sure you get it in your beard.
What were you saying?
Yes, anyway, as I was saying, new tea brand that was quite nice. So,
yeah. Look, I've never been able to get into my teas. It's a companion to a cigar, and I want that cheap black tea. The tannins, it's good. It's a good pair.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be. It's not a bad tea.
Ooh,
it's very
I'm starting to get some nice cedar in that as well now, since my ash dropped.
Bit of cedar coming in.
Cedar and leather.
Yeah, okay. Tullamore, do you triple distilled Irish whiskey? That's a surprisingly difficult tongue twister.
So do they triple distill it to be sure?
Sorry, Dan. No, I can't. I'm not dealing with that.
I would say that. After the cedar that you guys talking about, this is probably more to do with the ash, but the cedar has a mild mintiness to it, or greenness to it. It's quite nice. Perhaps different because with the ash or not ash or whatever, but it still have the mintiness to it. Very nice.
Mintiness. So what you're saying is it's like cedar that's been stacked to dry, but it's in the lower half of the pack where it's trapped the moisture for that little bit longer. And it's perhaps on the sun off side. So it's not the side where the sun shines, it's downwind as well. And therefore just that moisture has just lingered that little bit longer.
With the shade of leaf, with some leafy shade.
Yeah. The mintiness would probably be more on the, I'd say the spearmint side rather than a peppermint.
Yeah, spearmint, definitely. Definitely spearmint.
I'm definitely getting some cigar flavor.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about time for you.
Yeah. It's quite clear actually. It's a very distinct cigar flavor. Ooh. We've probably, the two that come to mind straight away is the Oliva V Lancero. Yeah. We also had, what did he call himself? It was a weird name for a cigar. In pack one, we had a Lancero.
The leaves were Lanceros too. We did.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
I'd forgotten about those.
We had three. We had three. Yeah.
So I reckon for me, mate, I would be going straight for the Oliva V Lancero. That's what I'd be going for. Or the Leaf by Oscar Corojo.
You know, in my personal opinion, and I think you'd agree with me on this, Topher, I reckon the Oliva Serie V Lancero is actually a better cigar than the Torpedo that won Cigar of the Year a few years back.
I do agree with you on that. But I'll add to that the Oliva V Milanio, which is that next product lineup. My absolute favorite, and I have smoked them all now, was the one that we had as part of the Cigar Professor, which is actually the smallest, the little box pressed half Corona, was it? I can't remember what it was actually called. But it was actually the smallest of them. And that was, I just can't go past it. It's just such a good stick. So yeah, in the Oliva V range, the Lancero is my pick. In the Milanio range, it's actually that half Corona or whatever it was called.
And I've still got those Oliva Serie V Milanio torpedoes that are in the bottom of my humidor. I checked them the other day to make sure they were still aging beautifully. And
yeah,
I don't know what we're up to now, but we must be up to about 5 years on those little puppies. So
man, I don't know how you do it.
He has more cigars than he can smoke.
I do. I've looked at my collection and figured at the rate I smoke, someone's getting an inheritance in my will. So the trick will be for you two to see who can outlive me.
I was going to say, Omar, you and I are going to have to start sucking up.
Hey, I don't have to suck up to Damo. He's very generous with me. We have a good relationship. Yeah.
It's true. I feel like I'm smoking it too fast, but I'm just having trouble slowing down. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, same.
Still got a beautiful sweetness there. The sweetness is almost a musky, lolly-like sweetness.
There's a dryness to the sweetness. It's both dry and sweet at the same time.
You remember those little lollies that came with stamped messages on them, like little diamonds and hearts and squares and triangles and octagons, and they were like those pastel colored things?
You'd find the one that says, I love you, and give it to the girl you had a crush on.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
That's what that sweetness is reminding me of, that sort of that sweet, dry, powdery texture to it.
Tim, these days you don't need him to adopt you. You just have to identify as his son and you're good. He can't question your identity. He's stuck with you.
Yeah.
When are we doing a tour of Damo's humidors?
I've done one.
I haven't got enough table space to set them up.
we could charge an entry fee for that one. Extra. There's an extra expensive ticket if you want to be at the front when the doors get open, so you get that first waft.
What am I?
That's probably a beautiful, beautiful humidor.
600. Yeah, I'm probably sitting around 1,000 cigars in my collection at the moment. Somewhere between 800 and 1,000. It's been a few years since I counted. Got rid of a fair few. I've added a fair few.
1,000.
800 to 1,000, probably something in that ballpark.
That could last me 6 months, dude.
6 months, 6 weeks if you were lucky.
If I can say, Damo, that's what,
including what I have.
That's why you should leave them to me, okay? Because they will last me at least twice as long, okay?
That's not good. That's not love. The damn things need to be smoked.
That's their reason for existing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I wasn't considering you the other week and your love of Placencia, I was actually going to bring some nub 460 Connecticut's, which I had purchased in 2016 or 2017.
17. You got them in 17, I remember.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah. If I tell Topher how much you got them for, he wouldn't believe you. He bought a whole lot of cigars. They were like so cheap, but he was telling me. We were talking, it's like he bought a whole lot.
Tax back then was like a quarter of what it is now.
Yeah.
It's gone up so fast.
So fast, yeah.
That's when I used to cry when it was like $500-600 a kilo.
Yeah.
Now it's what, nearly $1,800 a kilo.
Plus GST 2,000. Just call it 2.
Yeah. It's insane.
The finish at the moment for me is a nice leather.
Then is there a metallic-y sort of flavor that is very not metallic? It's very unusual. Very unusual.
No, that's probably your brain aneurysm. Tim, we are not talking politics. I am so done with politics right now, and so are you, I'm sure.
Oh, very vegetative. Celery-ish, seedy, celery seed. That
I couldn't get into your slow chat last night. There was no cigar involved.
Sorry about that.
I turned it on. It's like, bugger this, no damn cigar.
I noticed I didn't have my usual 3 people watching. There was only 2. I didn't know what had gone wrong. So I took a whiff of the foot smoke and sort of the room. There's almost a fruity aroma to the foot smoke. And it might just be because I'm indoors and it sort of gathers a little bit more. It might be that floral, once it sort of gathers a bit more, becomes a bit fruitier. But there's almost like a stone fruit in the aroma.
Well, funny you should say that, because a little bit earlier, not much earlier, I was starting to think of like raisin and dried fruit in the pastry croissant. So
yeah, there's something there.
Very nice cigar.
It's a bit of a go quiet and just enjoy it sort of cigar.
Yeah, that's what I was earlier thinking. It's very just chill out cigar. You chill it, enjoy it. Speaking of which, we only got 2 cigars to go, right?
We do. We have the Southern Draw.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Padron 1964, which this year's cigar of the year is the 1964 in the Torpedo.
Yeah, you picked it.
Hey,
you picked it in advance.
I picked it in advance.
It's a very good cigar, man.
And actually, don't forget, was it last year? It was last year. We had the Perdomo 10th anniversary Maduro, and that was the cigar of the year as well. So
there you go.
We had that before it was cigar of the year. So
yeah,
Damo can pick them before they're cool.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Before they go up in price and are sold out.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
We'll never know. We might find out next year. Warped cigars get a cigar of the year.
Honestly, on the Cloud Hopper and on this one, this is a brand to watch for sure.
You know, the interesting thing is too, they actually only make this in 2 Vitolas as standard.
Okay.
This particular, they make it in the Lonsdale, which is what we're smoking now, which is a 6 3/8 by 42. They also do a 4.5 by 52. And they did do a limited production when you bought like a branded humidor of theirs, and they did a 5.25 by 48 to stock the humidor, but you had to buy their humidor to get that Vitola. It's not one that was sold separately. So,
Tim, I'll pay that comment, but I'm not going to read it out loud.
Tim is funny, man.
Yeah, I can't get past that hat though. I mean, that's his nice hat. Have you seen his other hat?
No.
Makes Damo's effort there look like he's jolly, going to a black tie ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good old bushy hat held together by safety pins. And no, I'm not making that up. It's actually held together by safety pins.
Serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it can't be too bushy then. It would have been fencing wire otherwise.
It's a bushy who's got kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a lot of change, but still consistently nice flavors.
Yeah.
In this,
that's what I picked up in it. It's not gonna like testing you constantly kind of cigar, which is nice. I don't mind that.
There's still a bit of coffee in there for me though. That leather is a bit dominant, but
leather's coming
sort of
for
through
sure.
the leather, it's sort of a coffee leather flavor.
Yeah, well, Daniel literally must have been typing this comment just as you said that. I'm still getting a light hint of coffee.
Yeah.
Tim is defending his honor. He insists it's not safety pins. It's tie wire. I don't know. I'm gonna have to have another look. I'm gonna have to have another look before I believe that. He's pulling the safety pins out right now and feverishly inserting tie wire.
As long as it's tie wire, not barbed wire.
Or razor wire. I have a slash leather top hat. Yeah, okay. But see, you've got your own sort of unique style going on there, Stuart. I could see that would kind of work with you because it basically, like, if you were to wear, Tim's beaten up bushy hat, you would look like you were picking up hitchhikers and murdering them, right? And then if you put on the slash leather top hat, you look like the Undertaker that cleans up the mess after you're done with them in the other hat. So it works. It makes sense.
A little bit of a vegetative note starting to come in there on it for me now. A little bit celery-like.
Yeah. That's what I had a little bit earlier. So we finalized the next pack.
We have. They, I think they landed in the country today because I got my letter from the powers that be requesting proof of payment matching the declared value and a few other bits and pieces. So
a nasal swab and a prostate exam.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah, David. Look, we all definitely felt as though the draw was a little bit snug on the light up, but it has been burning pretty darn good considering.
I don't think mine was snug enough to affect the actual smoking. I'm just having to draw that fraction harder, which honestly, in a Lonsdale, you want to draw slowly anyway. So it's not necessarily a terrible thing.
Yeah. Get that.
But yes, a fraction on the snug side. So you were saying before, Damo, this is sort of rated as a mild to medium, maybe on the medium end of mild to medium. And actually, on the flavor profile, I've actually kind of got to agree with that. On the nose, I was expecting it to come in a bit more medium full. But it's not. It's actually, pretty mid-range.
Well, with this pack and the next pack, because we did go down that rabbit hole of Maduros and some of the stronger flavored cigars that I quite enjoy, I just felt as though it was time to wind back a little bit and explore some more of the medium and light cigars.
You've done
again.
well. You've done very well. Yeah, I definitely need to slow down. I can see through the middle of the ash there. I've got a bit of a spearhead happening, so I'm just going to try and ease up a little bit. Daniel's still got the mixed cinnamon note, just a hint of sweetness.
Yeah, roger that.
And Damo has a new teacher's pet. Daniel says, I think Damo sent me the good one. My draw's been great from the beginning. Just, Daniel, don't get used to it. I used to get the preferential treatment. I used to get all the good ones. Now look at me. I mean, just, it doesn't last is what I'm saying, okay?
Well,
just
look, Omar can be a testament to the fact that I had two absolutely crap cigars the other week, one straight after the other.
Oh, no.
Both of them tunneled. One was a Tatuaje. The other was one of Omar's beloved Plasencias.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Tatuaje, I lit it up and it tunneled straight away. I had to cut it. It was only what size was it? It was like a little Purito size.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of 4 inch. Cut an inch off. It had already tunneled past that. I cut another half inch off, lit it again, and then it tunneled. And by the time I actually cut it, there was barely a nub left to get past the tunnel. So I put that down, pulled out the Plasencia, started off all right. Then all of a sudden, the flavor suddenly changed and got hot. And I had to cut the damn thing in half to get past where it had tunneled to. So,
well,
it happens.
Aussie, it's good to have your company too, mate.
Yeah.
It is good to step away.
That's it, man.
So David has a happy report, got a big plug out with the perfect draw, and it's now much better. That's good to hear. Tim sent me a photo of his hat. He's trying to defend his honor here. I've accused him of the cardinal sin of having safety pins in his hat. Let's have a look. What do we got? Yeah, he's done a real quick fix to that, and he's got baling wire in there. Fast fingers there, Tim. Fast fingers. I'll credit you with that.
Well, if he can work that fast, he's obviously good experience doing fences.
Must do. Mate, don't take it for granted. How did I know that was going to happen? Ugh. Midway through, we'll see what happens now with the ash having dropped a second time.
I can see mine's just about to drop, so I'm going to allow it to hit the right spot.
Step up in spice. With a charcoal type of lingering aroma as it just wafted away from me there.
Yeah.
Definitely step up in spice. It's good though. Aaron says the energy seems a bit low tonight. You guys okay? We lit up this cigar and we all just went mellow.
Yeah, that's it.
We all just chilled right out. Blame it on the stick.
You don't really expect that from a small and Sarah, but it is really nice and chilling.
If anything, the overall flavor profile has dropped with the ash. The spice stepped up, but everything else kind of, the leather, everything else just kind of actually dropped down.
I think what happened, from what I can tell from my cigar, is the gooey and the chewiness and the depth of the smoke is much lighter in the mouth feel of it. And that's kind of perhaps giving it that kind of a vibe.
Daniel's making a big call, on par with the Cloud Hopper. Ooh, I'm going to say the Cloud Hopper is still slightly ahead for me.
Yeah, the Cloud Hopper for me too.
Yeah.
Well, the Cloud Hopper did, I think, come third the other year.
Yeah.
That's in the top 10.
Yeah, particularly exceptional cigar. This is a great cigar. That's a particularly good one. Cigar, yeah. Tim's got a conspiracy theory. He's worried that Kate Fantanel from the Lib Dems might have put something in our cigars to help mellow us out a little bit more. Might have added a little something. I'll tell you what, if Kate is in Damo's house messing with our cigars before he sends them out, I'm impressed. That's just massive respect. The amount of research she would have had to have done, sneaking in, finding the right cigars, sneaking back out again undetected. I'm not even mad. That's impressive. There's still a good amount of smoke. You're right that it's not as chewy as it was, but it's still a good amount. Still satisfying.
Very good smoke production. It's more fluffy and lighter now.
Yeah, it's lighter. It's less chewy, less texture to it.
Yeah.
Just giving my cigar a purge.
Yeah.
See how that changes it.
There's a real nuttiness to, if you actually just not so much the smoke, but the actual cigar. There's a real nuttiness. Yeah, that's come out with the burning.
Oh, it's got a beautiful sweetness to it. The smell, not just nuttiness. It's sort of a bit of candy and floral in there as well.
Oh, would that be, in your opinion, would that be the candy that Uncle Perdomo gave you when you met him first time face to face?
No, it was the candy you offered to get into my humidor. Okay, so that purge brought down the leather note for me. It's gone back to a more softer leather than a strong hard leather.
So your leather persisted through your ash removal?
Yes.
Okay. Because I reckon mine dropped as a result of the ash removal.
Okay.
Well, you definitely know you've had a cigar. Definitely not one of those ones that you just smoke and you're like, oh, okay, what's next? I mean,
every cigar's like that, Roma.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Just nod and smile, Omar. Nod and smile. Pretend like you're a normal human being for a second.
So have you managed to get the wife into cigars yet, Omar?
Nah. Nah, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Well, she probably secondhand smokes at least a cigar's worth every day.
Nah, only when I'm driving with her.
No, and every time you breathe on her.
Oh yeah, that's a killer, obviously. She's been complaining about headaches, so that's probably it. Let's not go there.
No comment.
No comment.
Stuart, have you thought about getting a girlfriend that lives closer to you? Just saying.
He can't put much fuel in his car for $140.
No.
Yeah.
Gary can.
It's almost $200 to fill up a Hilux these days, man. Seriously.
You're just owning it more now.
Yeah, when you got a wimpy Hilux. Mate, I filled up with diesel when I was out and about in Tasmania this week, and it was, I kid you not, I think it was like $2.49 a litre.
Yeah, crazy.
It's almost that. Sydney.
Yeah, we're hovering around the mid 220s, low 230s down here in Melbourne for diesel.
That's crazy, man.
Well, if I got to fill up my car from dead empty, it's about 320, 330.
Yeah, wow.
I generally try not to let it go dead empty these days because I'd rather see smaller numbers more often.
Yeah.
Makes me feel better.
You don't want to have to ring up the mortgage broker just so you can get a tank of fuel.
That's right.
Now Stuart's making me feel bad for my joke in bad taste.
A vegetative note's coming back again for me.
There's a white pepper starting to come through now for me on the tip of the tongue. Not so much the spice, the bakery spices that we had earlier. This is a sort of a clean white pepper, just a little burn on the tip of the tongue. Still a little bit of the nuttiness, but that could almost be in the aroma rather than the flavor. I'm not sure. Tim, what keeps me awake at night is the fact that people saw that I was sitting with you when you ordered cider instead of beer. That's what keeps me awake at night. And that one day someone's going to come out of the woodwork and be like trying to blackmail me. I will tell the world that you hang out with cider drinkers if you don't pay me $1,000.
Well, it's very big in Tasmania. Every damn pub I went to seemed to have cider on tap as well as a selection of cider in the fridge. Mind you, I was quite amazed. There seemed to be more pubs in distilleries and places selling alcohol in Tasmania than I saw people.
Well, Tassie have won more awards for whiskey than anywhere else in the world, with the exception of Scotland. And they actually they're the only place outside of Scotland ever to have the cigar of the year.
Really?
Cigar or whiskey?
Sorry, whiskey of the year.
Yeah. Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just. Tim is bringing back repressed memories for me. He's right. It was actually, he ordered a ginger beer, not a cider. But I'm so traumatized. I'd actually suppressed that part of the memory. And now I've just had a massive flashback. I'm going to need therapy.
Was it a Bundaberg ginger beer, though?
Yeah.
I don't care. There was real beer. Why is he drinking the ginger variety?
It could have been a dark and stormy, was it?
Getting into the final third now. Flavor profile, not as nice as it has been for me. There's actually, let me check. Yeah, no, it's clean. There's a little bit of a tarriness starting to come through, a little bit of like a burnt byproduct kind of a flavor.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be nice, like a charcoal can be nice. There's an edge to this that isn't as nice.
Yes, completely agree. I think, and I did expect that a little bit because it's a very tightly packed cigar.
Yeah.
If a Lancero is that tight, you're gonna have to come at a cost.
I've got a question here from Finley, just about pipes. I played with this for a while. I had probably 50 bowls, just trying to get the pack right, get the technique right, get the breathing right, all that sort of stuff. Got to be honest, I wanted to love it because it's cheaper, but no. For me, pipes. Pipes don't do it for me.
It's messy.
I like the smell of pipe tobacco before it's burnt,
yeah.
but I really don't enjoy the taste of pipe tobacco. I feel as though it's too adulterated. I like the taste of cigars.
Yeah. And the issues like tongue bite and things like that don't really happen with cigars, but are sort of well-known common issues with pipes. It was a lot more.
And the moisture build-up as well. As you're getting towards the end, you start sucking in the moisture.
Yeah. And so there's a lot more fiddling, a lot more work. Like a cigar requires you to keep an eye on it, but most cigars, you never have to intervene.
Yeah.
Right? You know, my burn has corrected itself. It's burning really well now. I didn't have to do anything. That's a typical cigar. Pipes are just constant fiddling. You're just constantly working them.
True.
Mind you, then I see old photos of, Tolkien smoking his pipe or something like that. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I could make it work because it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the general consensus is an anti-pipe consensus in the comments as well.
Yeah, I agree with John. It's too messy. He summed it up. It's actually messy. It's a messy affair.
Also, I hate the smell of the pipe when you're finished.
Yeah.
Like the next day, the pipe smells awful.
Yep.
And you have to clean the pipe out. You've got to have a scraping tool to scrape the bowl out, and you've got to have pipe cleaners to clean the pipe out properly.
It's a negative. Can't deal.
I have been known occasionally my pipe broke, so I don't have a pipe anymore. But when I've had a really good Robusto, and I haven't wanted to put it down, and the nub's getting too hard to hold, I've stuck that in my pipe and finished off the cigar in a pipe, and that's acceptable.
You mean you stuck?
Topher. He's got some weird jokes, man.
He's
trying.
Oh, his sound keeps dropping out.
Yeah. What computer do you use, Topher, again?
Hey, his first ring of the night.
The sound of how
your sound is breaking.
We got one word of that last sentence.
It's breaking. Damon, what computer does he use?
I don't know. It can't be any good.
It's shit.
Mind you, he does sound better that way, though.
Well, that's.
I mean, we only get him on for the eye candy.
Yeah, we can't even hear what the heck he's talking about. So
those sorts of insults of yours would hurt if only I gave a rat's about your opinion.
If I was you, I'll be giving the rat about the computer that you're using, because it's yeah.
I won't ask if it sounds better because obviously you're going to say no. But can you hear me now?
Sadly,
we can. But you now look like a martial arts movie where the lips move and then the sound's out of sync. Actually, that raspberry shrub actually goes really well with this cigar, I think. That sort of slight fruity sourness actually plays off quite well with the flavors.
Dames, have you noticed he hasn't got much to say lately after his computer fucked up? He's kind of embarrassed. He looked very embarrassed.
It's quite pleasant, actually. It's beautiful, isn't it? This last part of this session, it's just absolutely beautiful, peaceful.
You know, I should just put you guys on mute all the time. I'm thoroughly enjoying the silence.
Echo.
Getting a little wonky on me.
Yeah, not bad. It's just.
I actually might try purging again. Look, it even gets better. Anyway, so we might have a few viewers on tonight that have never heard of purging a cigar. What purging is instead of inhaling air through the cigar, you actually take a breath of air and just slowly blow it through the cigar to actually clear out the build-up. And what it also sometimes does is help correct the burn. And you then let it sit for 20, 30 seconds and take your next puff, and you'll actually get a much more pleasant flavor profile coming out of your cigar. So Omar's a big fan of purging.
I do it regularly, all cigars. Yeah, we did. Hopefully it stays like that.
No, I doubt it.
Shit. Oh, man.
Well, can't win every race, Omar.
I had to give you guys something to talk about. Simon has observed here. I had a Room 101 fast earlier this week and watched one of your Professor vids from Feb 2021. You guys used to get along so much better. That was before we spent 2 years hanging out with each other, mate. It's just saying, you know.
And then there's a lot of spit roast and all that sorts of things. And so,
hey, what happens in Sydney stays in Sydney. We've talked about this.
Okay.
We won't ask what kind of laptop it is. It's a very sensitive topic around here.
Yeah, Simon, let's not go there. Simon, let's not go there. It has become very unpleasant for me, to be honest.
I wasn't going to go that far. It's certainly not as good as it was in that middle third. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say the flavor profile really has picked up now. It's above a medium for me now.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a rubberiness to the leather note that I've got.
That might be related to what I was identifying earlier as a bit of slight tar kind of a flavor. I might have picked it up slightly differently.
I wonder if a cut would do anything to this.
I did.
You've tried it, have you, Omar?
Yeah, I've tried it. Like
any better?
A little bit temporarily.
Oh, I'll give it a go. See what happens.
Nothing to lose.
I can cut straight. The rubberiness is still there, but it's died down significantly for the cut.
It's definitely cleaned it up. The
bitterness
that was there has eased up a little bit as a result of the cut. Normally, I'll cut if I can see that black kind of, there's like a glossy black sort of weeping that can come out of some filler tobaccos. And if I see that, I'll do a cut straight away. This didn't have that.
No.
But it definitely did benefit from a cut.
Sweetness has come back a little bit. Not a lot, just enough to know it's still there.
You guys getting the white pepper?
Yeah.
I had a section where I got the white pepper, sort of more the sensation on the tongue.
Yeah.
But I think it's died down again on me.
Okay. Yeah, it's fairly pronounced for me.
I cut it for the second time and it's a lot better.
What are you, training to be a moil or something?
Yeah, trying to find a better laptop as a result.
You can't just make everything about the laptops, mate. That doesn't work.
It just did, and it did work. And get you talking.
Well, I'll stand by what I said. I still want to smoke my way through the warped range. The first and second thirds of this cigar were very, very good.
Very good.
Not at the same level as the Cloud Hopper.
Yeah.
I'm getting the pepper more on the lips than on the tongue.
Okay.
Or the tip of the tongue.
Yeah, it's the tip of the tongue for me. That's where I'm feeling it.
Yeah, tip of the tongue. I had an interesting experience with this brand in May before we had that, the Cloud. I was at a cigar shop. That's where I hang most of the time in the States. And I was asking this guy, he's quite knowledgeable. I said, hey, what's your oldest box in here? That's my usual question when I go to these cigar shops. So, give me your oldest box. And he said, matter of fact, he goes, I got 2 boxes left for myself. And it's this. And it was circa 2011, or I have to look at the photos of the old box. I got the box off him and started smoking, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was, I think, the same wrapper as the Mexican that Oliva uses in their V series.
Right.
It was a gorgeous, gorgeous stick. And then incidentally, Demo had that, in the last pack, and I was like, wow, this is a really good brand on the cover. And I would still, as you said, I would love to explore. Absolutely, without a doubt, because the first and second third of the cigar is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
The opening was incredible. The first third was very good, and then that middle third was really, really good.
And now, after the cutting for the second time, I have to take it back. What I said, it was horrible. It's not anymore. I think it was just a tar buildup. And I think what I said at the beginning, since it's Lancero, but not only Lancero, it's very tightly packed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Bit of softness now.
We're getting a ridiculously good burn time out of this cigar for
absolutely.
Lancero.
Yeah.
The nub that I've got left here is a little bit soft to the touch. and it's definitely breathing quite well. So I'd say in my case, there was something probably in the middle somewhere that was just constricting the flow a little bit, and now it's opened up.
Yeah, same. And I'm actually starting to enjoy it a lot more now. So yeah, it's an exceptional stick. There's no doubt about that. Particularly, you ask 99% cigar smokers in Australia, they wouldn't know what that is. They would have absolutely no idea.
Heard of it.
Never heard of it. And they would go, not interested, but you got to try.
Yeah. Still got that sweet nuttiness on the actual cigar itself.
I'm getting more of a bitter almond flavor, somewhat like a bitter almond.
Yep.
Beautiful. Nice. No harshness whatsoever now. No harshness whatsoever.
Still the pepper, but no harshness. That tarriness for me is gone completely.
Completely gone. Loving it.
The woody note in there for me is more oak-like now too.
Okay.
And I've still got a bit of a vegetative note there as well.
Yeah, there is. It's very
light.
Yeah, it's very light. It's moved between celery and a really light fennel. It's got that slight twist of a fennel to it. Technically speaking, is this a Lancero or a Lonsdale? I have to agree, it's not a Lancero. This would be a Lonsdale, surely.
It is a Lonsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit faster than cedar.
Yeah, it's a 42 ring gauge.
Yeah. Definitely come good. The burn, razor sharp.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Can't complain about that at all. The ash is held reasonably well for a 42. Not amazingly, but it's not too bad.
Wonder if David's getting any nicotine out of this one.
Omar, block your ears. I'm getting just a very, very mild nicotine. Just not even a hit, just that mellowing. I told you to block your ears. It's not my fault if you didn't do it. I reckon if I sat down with a mate in person to have these, we would end up just smoking them all the way through without saying a word.
That's right.
It's just one of those cigars, and it'd be we'd both have a great time.
Yep. Look, the only challenge. Look, I agree with you, but I'm not sure if you have any mates. So maybe look in front of the mirror.
Listen, there's this great website called RussianBrides.com.
I thought they had an embargo against them at the moment.
Yeah, it's UkrainianBrides.com now. They're the new big thing.
It's a new black.
Yeah, there's definitely nicotine in it.
Fuck, you guys are talking about nicotine. Where? You can write on it. It has nicotine in it, and then smoke it. Yes, okay, fair. Write on the wrapper, has nicotine in it, and then smoke the damn thing, and then okay, I get it.
Well, the good thing is, Daniel, there's more of those where they came from. So,
how's the new job going, Daniel? We just sit
especially
there in silence.
if giving it to you.
Yeah,
it'd be the best conversation we ever had, Daniel. We just sit there and say nothing.
Don't say nothing at all. Or just jump on your computer. You won't be saying anything.
I'll just sit there scrolling through the UkrainianBrides.com website, and we'll just smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, picking up now a little bit of actual heat on top of the white pepper. And with that's come, what is that? That's a mid-tone. Give me a sec. I'm going to consult the wheel on this one.
I'm definitely getting a bit of a char flavour there. A bit like the black char you get on roast vegetables.
Without question, there is a bit of that, but there's something else there that's come with that for me.
Sorry, boys, I got to write on a birthday card.
Daniel, that's very, very good to hear, mate. I'm glad it's working out well for you.
So what's Omar's poem going to be? I love cigars. I love you too. But don't hassle me when I'm in the middle of a show.
There you go.
It's like it's a charred leather, if that makes sense. I'm chasing it. I'm not super satisfied that that's what it is, but that's as close as I can get. It's a charred leather.
Well, early on, when I said that leather had got deeper for me, I was actually thinking, is when they actually use like a soldering iron to sort of brand into leather.
Yeah,
I was almost getting that sort of note to it.
Yeah.
Simon, that's true. That's true.
If you used a soldering iron to write nicotine on the side of the cigar, that's what it would be. That's his signature move, Daniel. He signs everything with he stubs the cigar on it. That's his signature.
I'll be honest with you, but I'm really open about my cigars and whatever. My kids starting to ask me more questions about cigars than anyone else.
Oh yeah,
it's fascinating. My 9-year-old loves everything about it.
Yeah,
smell, the habit. So
yeah.
Good.
Well, hey, it's well, I was about to say it's cheaper than a crack cocaine habit, but I guess it's probably not anymore, is it?
Nah.
Okay, the pepper just came back on that puff.
Okay.
And I'm really down to the business end now.
Two boys and a girl, Simon.
Hour 10, thereabouts. Hour 15.
Yeah, hour and 10 plus for you. I've got probably another 5 minutes. Yeah, hour and 15. What was that, Omar?
Simon asked, and I said 2 boys and a girl.
I'll trust Daniel's knowledge of the prices.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
You know what the most disappointing thing when I was in Tasmania? I went walking around near where I was staying. I walked around to all the different bars within walking distance of where I was staying.
Yeah.
Looking at all the outdoor drinking areas, hoping I could find somewhere I could sit down, enjoy a cigar and chill. No.
That's
Nowhere.
when I spent 3 weeks in Tassie, the only places I got to enjoy my cigars was when we were at caravan parks.
Yeah, I was looking. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Couldn't find anywhere.
Yep.
Terrible.
For a place with such a wonderful whiskey culture, it's really disappointing.
Yep.
And there seems to be a certain constituent of the political spectrum. It seems to be very against smoking. Yet that same constituent would be more than happy to probably legalise smoking marijuana, and it would probably let everyone light up a joint in those same places.
Yeah.
It's a funny place, Tassie. I really like it, but it's a quirky place.
Yeah. Simon, I'm not going to lie. I've given my 9-year-old a taste of my Placencia once. So, want to have a shot? I said, you're grown up now. You're going to be 10 soon, so why not?
Well, when he was about 3 or 4, my son was quite interested in these glasses of wine that Daddy was having.
Turned on me.
Yeah, time to put that one down. Yep. And so I gave him some white wine, expecting that would put him off, and it did. He didn't like that at all. So then he saw me having a red one a few days later, and so I gave him some of that, expecting it to put him off. He loved it. Oh, really? He would have drunk it by the glassful like it was cordial.
Or at least he knows what he likes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a kid that loves olives, blue cheese, prawns. He's got very grown-up taste for he's now 6, but even when he was 4,
Well, actually, a lot of kids do like strong flavors. As adults, we're being duped into believing that kids don't like strong flavors. And my eldest, from the moment she started eating solids, loved olives.
Nice.
And strong cheeses, not blue, but Parmesan and Parmigianos and stuff like that. Cheeses. Loved chili. Loved chili so much that when she was literally a toddler, she wanted to eat she grabbed I used to grow my own chilies, and she grabbed one off the bush and wanted to eat it, and I was like, no. And she had a tantrum, wanted to eat this chili, and I said to her, you'll be sorry if you eat it. So she put it in her mouth, bit on it. It was one of the little Thai hot chilies. And that cured her from ever wanting spicy food after that. She never 16 years later, and she's only just starting to come back to mildly spicy food.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, Omar, when are you visiting the best cigar bar in Albury, which is in Daniel's garage?
Oh, I'm looking. Look, we got to do it. We got to do it in the New Year's. That's road trip. Yeah, that's a road trip. It's going to happen.
Mind you, it's such a long road trip, Daniel. He'll probably run out of cigars by the time he gets to you. That's the only trouble.
That's why I'll take you with me with a bunch of cigars.
No, he'll be like a man who's been stuck in the desert for a week. He'll just come crawling up the driveway, but instead of saying water, he's going to be like cigars.
I'll have to ride shotgun with a wooden spoon every time he reaches to try and get a cigar. I whack him on the hand with it.
Daddy's spiky sauce.
That's funny.
Omar with the 40-count Zihar case. Yeah, that'd probably get him through the morning.
Yeah.
I actually travel I just pick up my 70-count this humidor just here. I just pick that up. That just travels with me in the boot. Because you never know what you're going to be in the mood for. You can't just have one cigar with you or 5 cigars with you. You got to bring a range.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's it.
Actually, on Tuesday, I was actually planning to have a cigar at the end of my day's work. I was actually going to be out on a remote property working. And I thought, well, at least I'm going to have somewhere that I'm going to be able to enjoy a cigar.
Sure.
Except Tassie weather.
Oh,
it was 8 degrees wind chill factor was making it feel like 4.
Mm.
And it was raining all day. And even though I had a rainproof jacket on, I still managed to get soaked to the core.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I couldn't feel my fingers. And I was shaking after being in that outdoors for 8 hours. No cover, no protection. And I tell you what, there was no hope I was ever going to get the cigar lit, let alone be able to smoke it.
Yeah, never stopped me. That never stopped me.
Well, the amount of rain I had coming down, there was no way that cigar was going to stay lit, I can tell you.
Yeah. Tell Damo to send a cigar pack for when you arrive, Omar. It's like a care package.
Care package.
No, actually, that'd be quite dangerous because if Omar's run out of cigars in the car and he knows there's a pack waiting for him, he's just going to gun it. It's just going to be foot to the floor. All right, this will be my last puff. I just lost my ash again. I'm down to the finger burning stage. Last hurrah. Hasn't quite turned, but it's hinting that it's going to. Thank you very much. Yeah, interesting. Really interesting. I think Omar, you were right with the cut. That definitely helped. And brought that final third back into a range where it was enjoyable. Doomsday cigar preppers running around burying like carefully wrapped boxes of cigars into the ground, geocached.
That would be the first thing I'd be putting it away.
Well, I used to have this theory that if there was ever the zombie apocalypse, I'd go straight to Bunnings, because if there's one place where you've got all the tools you need to defend yourself, it's going to be a Bunnings warehouse. But these days, my priorities have changed. I'm going straight to Damo's. Because I just found out he's got 800 to 1,000 cigars there, and that'll get me through the first year or two of a zombie apocalypse, I think. You still going, Omar?
Yeah, but I'm almost done.
You're a madman. How do you make them last that long?
I had a bad patch, and in a sense it came so good, and I'm like really enjoying it.
Nice.
He's probably been swapping out another cigar in between. We haven't noticed.
Yeah, Daniel is the king of slow cigar smoking. I never got that sharp vegetative note. It was nice all the way through, but I did smoke it extremely slow. I've got at least 10 minutes left. Wow. So you're going to be a solid hour and a half.
Yeah.
Out of that. That's impressive.
That's an effort. That's a good effort.
Tim's offering to trade some bullets for some cigars in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Why not?
You got to pick your zombie apocalypse friends carefully,
Yeah.
Bullets, food, fuel. I'll swap all the necessities.
You are well placed, my man. You are well placed. Alrighty. Well, 2 cigars left in this pack. We have the absolute monster coming up. That is the Southern Draw. What's the model?
I'll pull it up in front of me so I get it right. It is the Ignite 2019. Yeah. And that one in particular, I believe, was raising funds for the Navy SEALs.
Yeah, that one is. And then we have the Padron.
So every year they do a different cigar, and they raise money for a different branch of the Defence Force war veterans.
Yeah. So just to be clear, not funding the Navy SEAL operations, they're funding retired or returned. Yeah, returned to veterans. Yeah. Simon's asking or saying, I'll be keen to see if the next smoke burns really fast like that Candela we had early this year. Well, we'll see. We'll find out. The ITC Emerald. We'll find out next week. It's a monster of a stick, so we'll have to see. Will it set a new record for duration, or will it burn fast? Who knows?
Well, it's a great size, 7.5 by 50.
Huge.
So
yeah, it's huge.
Our biggest stick to date.
Yes, it is by far. And the tax bill on that was eye-watering. But we've got 2 weeks to go. Hopefully we've got all of the cigars for Pack 9 in Australia now. Fingers crossed. There have been some logistical challenges and all sorts of things, which Damo, as always, is the master of navigating. So Pack 9 in the country, we think. So we'll get some photos for you. We'll get the invoices out. We'll show you what's in there and do all of that stuff. We've only got 2 weeks to do it, so we're going to be onto that this coming week, assuming that it all arrives and it's all good. Good. Yeah. So, holy shit, you fellas might need to talk to each other for 3 hours. Well, I'll try and make sure I've had more sleep than what I've had at the moment, and that might help a little bit. But guys, this has been fun as always. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week, and keep an eye on your emails for the big reveal of everything that's in Pack 9 and invoices and all that sort of stuff in the coming week. Thanks, guys.